Welcome to another UnMute with Nonhli 2024. And thank you, PEBETSI, for allowing me to have a conversation with you. Our guest today is PEBETSI MAKGALEMELE CHARNLEY. Did I say it nicely?
Correct.
Can you just, okay, I know you for 41 years. Maybe you're not even aware.
Yeah.
We met 1983.
Yep.
At Vlakfontein Technical in Mamelodi. Same class?
Doing what was called Form 1.
Form 1, yeah.
So
Form 1, okay, people won't believe. I'm 53, I'm not shy with my age, and you're turning
The same
53
age. Yeah,
in March.
that's,
Well done on your book. So
Thank
today we'll be discussing PEBETSI's book. It's a true story of my butterflies, my journey into motherhood. When I saw this book, and I think I met with you a year ago, yeah, somewhere in Midrand,
Yeah.
and you just told me a bit about your story, and I didn't know you're writing a book. Can you tell me a bit about how did it come about? Why? What made you to think that I have to write a book?
Actually, this started as a journal, as I was journaling. So I journal a lot. I've been just writing, but every time I tell somebody a little bit about my story, there's like, you must tell, you must write a book. I would write and then stop. So this has been a 5-year journey. So I started writing and I would stop, and I got a journalist to help me out because I didn't know what I was doing. And we stopped again, and I thought, with COVID, because we're home, I'm gonna, dedicate time and write this. That was
2022, no?
2020,
2020,
2021. I didn't do anything because then it just became too emotional for me, and I just stopped. I
And it's
couldn't write
something
anymore.
that I wanted to ask that, yeah, I also went through whatever, but it's not about me. And people always say, write a journal, write it. And I stopped also because I don't know. I understand that putting down your thoughts, putting down what you gone through, it's really, it helps. But I stopped. I don't know, when did I last write? I think last year sometime, because I don't know. I felt so much pain. I felt like I'm in touch with what's happening. Maybe I don't want to relive,
By writing it down.
by writing it down, but they say it helps.
Little do you know that it helps. I mean, the story in the book, it's what I journaled up to, most of it is up to 2016, 2017.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But I still continue to journal about everyday things. Sometimes I'll go a day or two without journaling, sometimes a month. I'm trying not to make my journaling a chore. So I'm not forced to journal every day. So when I feel the need to journal, then I go back to my
I think
journal.
that was the problem with me. I felt like I'm forced.
You
I
have
have
to.
to, and
No.
I have to face this sort of a monster.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Now, how did it come? Why did you choose
To write the
a
book.
true story of my butterfly? How did you come with this title?
Let me tell you first how it got to be a book eventually. So I have that in the book as well, without giving out too much, but I say it at the end that I went to India in 2022. And when we booked in a Ayurvedic center, and they give you options of things to do, to
Okay.
during the day, activities to do, and one of them was see an astrologer. Indian people believe in astrologers, from what I've seen. And I'm with my husband. We're like, let's go do it. So he's like, I'm coming with me. I'm like, no, let's do it one by one. So I went by myself. As I walk in, this guy looked at me and said, why don't you finish your book? I'm like, I'm writing a book? He's like, yeah. Write that book. It will heal you. You think you're healed, but finishing this book and taking it out there, it will help you heal, and it will heal somebody else. Not only what you've gone through, but bits and pieces of it. Not people will not relate to all the things that I've gone through, but some of the things people will get what can help in that book. That's how it ended up being
Okay.
a book.
And the title, A True Story of My Butterflies.
Okay, in the beginning, when I was thinking about this can be a book, maybe not. It's 6. I'm not saying says, it's
yeah,
6.
I know.
Yes, but I did not know what to put at 6, as 6. So I thought maybe Pebbles, because my name is Pebetsi, and some people call me Pebbles. 6 Pebbles. So I remember the one year I was stuck in an airport. I was traveling to Bali, and I was stuck in an airport in Singapore, and I did not know what to do. And I was just walking around, and I saw they have a butterfly garden.
Okay.
I went into this butterfly garden, and I was like, butterflies, why don't I use butterflies? But, I'm like, I'm loving butterflies. I'm getting into butterflies. And I've thought about it, and I'm in Bali. I stayed in Bali for a month. And we had this teacher who had his T-shirt all the time. And then the one day he took off his T-shirt to teach us something about, the body, as we're learning about the body parts and stuff.
Okay.
And he has a tattoo of a butterfly. I'm like,
This is talking to
the
me.
butterfly has been talking to me. There's a butterfly. And I was stuck. And he even said, why are you staring? I'm like, the butterfly. And I said, always when I travel, I'll have a tattoo of where I've been. And I'm like, there it is. I'm having my 6 butterflies in Bali.
That's nice.
And I got this tattoo artist who didn't speak English at all. I'm like,
How
let's
do you
get this.
explain?
Let's get this tattoo. We're using Google Translator, and this person got me, and I have this.
Butterfly.
If I can say, beautiful tattoo of
You
6
do.
butterflies on my arm.
6 of
That's
them.
That's how the 6 butterflies. And I was like, okay, let's get into this butterfly thing.
I love being authentic. I love being a realist. And what also touched me is, you're talking about your true life here. And your story is going to heal so many people. You can explain just a bit about your book, why you wrote this book, and just a bit of what you went through.
Okay, when I was going through issues with fertility, I looked for a book because I was taught to read by my dad.
Do.
Do.
You remember we used to call him
Do.
Do because he was a musical
conductor. Music conductor. Everybody,
Do.
you called me Do, called it was Do, and he would come into the house and start singing like, and. So I don't know where I was going with this train of thought as to what were we talking about?
Yes, about how what made you, your story. Tell about your story because it's going to help a lot of people. And this is your true life. This is what happened. It's not fiction.
Yeah.
This is your life. You're putting it out there.
Yeah. Looking at books, I was looking for a book to see if am I the only person going through this. I'm looking for somebody who looks like me, who has gone through this. Because every single person I know has got a child, and am I the only one in this journey? And that's when I thought, writing this book so that somebody who looks like me can say, you know what, this happens.
Right, yeah.
This happens, but it doesn't have to,
Define
you and define your life. You don't have to say, I failed at having kids. This is me.
Yeah. And people don't know how 5 miscarriages, right? But you hear, and I always say, I don't know, where do you get that strength that after what you went through, baby, you're still smiling, you're still such a jolly person, you still, and I know it was not easy. How did you get where you are now?
I think what helped me to fall pregnant at the first time was going to yoga. And I found that, everybody will tell you, no, relax, it will happen. You're trying to fall pregnant. Just relax. But no one tells you how to relax.
And that's true.
And that's how I found yoga to help me get into that relaxation state. And I feel yoga has a big part. You know, I started meditating later on, but having that physical movement, the slow physical movement, you know, when you're young, we want to run, we want to do aerobics, and, you know, you don't get that movement that slows you down, but still gives you this massive benefits. I think that's where I found the strength in yoga. That's why I left, you know, my corporate work and have to give up the big cars and the big houses to do this thing
Yoga.
that makes me rich in here. And it does. And it just unleashed my my childhood, the child in me. I just want to play, and I love color. I just want everything bright around me, and, you know, color makes you happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does. It does. I remember you when you asked me questions what we must wear.
Where I'm like
yeah.
white, black.
But but I could hear that you're going to
So
your color.
like,
You want to
I
be
want color.
colorful. Yeah. No, I understand. And how did you? What? You know, and people don't even know that you're in your third marriage, also,
Yeah.
and you're still happy.
I'm
And you're
happy.
giving me strength. You know, I'm going to get married, I think, again. I'm a sucker for love, and I know you're a sucker
Yeah,
for love.
I am.
There's nothing wrong with marriage. It's who you married
Hopeless
to.
romantic.
So, if I may ask, I did read your book. Do you think because of the infertility and the miscarriages, that is why your first marriage and second marriage didn't work?
Yeah, I think more so my first marriage, because we were young, both of us. We did not know how to deal with loss, you know, how to deal with this big challenge that was facing us. I mean, both of us, people were asking us, he didn't have kids, I didn't have kids, from all sides. Like, you had this big lavish wedding, and where are the babies? And, you know, the older people don't fail to ask you where the babies are.
When you go for
Yeah, and
Christmas lunches, whatever.
Yes, and that just pulled us apart. You know, we did not know how to deal with this. He doesn't know how to grieve. We grieve differently. So we're just pulling to different directions. You know, we did not know how to deal with this. I feel that had a lot of impact. I was looking at him to give me so much support. He did not know how to give me support. And yeah, and the second marriage as well. He's a Zulu man. Yeah.
I'm laughing because how they met. And, yeah, how they met. And yeah, he says, yeah, I was cheating. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like,
Yeah,
you know,
I was
when
cheating.
when I started writing with the journal, actually, to divert, and I was like, you know, I don't know how, if I want to tell the truth, how do I tell the truth without hurting people around me, and not saying there was an overlap in my life somewhere, and I'm not proud of it, but it happened.
It happened,
you know,
and
it's
that's
part of me.
reality.
Yeah, I have to accept that, you know, I did
Yeah.
cheat, and that's how the overlap happened, you know?
You know, PEBETSI, whether you say it or not, you know it. That's the truth. And people
Exactly.
will always judge you. And how was the support, actually? Before I could see that on the forward, your brother Aubrey wrote. And
Yeah.
I know you and your sister and your brother, you're very tight.
Yes.
That's one thing I envy about you. You love one another. You support one another. How was the support from your family part? You didn't have a mother. People don't know, you know. And the mother, it's really integral. It's a you know, source of inspiration. When you're in pain, rona Basotho, whether o mokgalabo or whatever, you say, you're my way, you know, that's the first person.
Yeah.
And how did you go through all this without your mom? I know your dad was there.
Yeah, and you know, when you're going through infertility, doctors will ask you, did your mother struggle to have kids? I don't, go back to my father. I'm like, well, how was I born? Was I Caesar? Was I natural? You know, men don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You came out, I was called to the hospital. There was this cute baby. I'm like, I don't know. You know, that's when you miss your mom more. I knew I missed my mom when I was young. It was like I was lost. I was looking for my mom in every woman I see, and but when it hits where you have to ask questions about how did she struggle? Why is there difference in age between my sister and me? The 7 years, was that a struggle, or
Oh, was it a break?
Yeah, and you don't have anybody to answer those questions,
But-
Yeah, my dad will touch them. They're like, oh no, she had to go back to school. And then that's why there's a difference of 5 years between my sister and my brother. But then you and your brother's 2 years. So we were settled at the time. That's why the two of you came one after the other.
And how was the support? I know when you're going through a lot, the most important thing is the support. Whether it's family and friends, you need the support, and people don't understand. And when I say support, I'm not talking about financial support. Knowing that people are there, genuinely there.
I was shocked about the support from my dad in that area. Me and my dad will always run to books when we want answers because there was no Google at that time. So for me to learn about periods as well, although my aunt came, it was a book, like read this book.
Didn't we tell you, listen, did you start menstruating when we were technical and then we told you what to do?
My aunt, who's my mom's sister, they were very close, was like just turned into a mom to me. But then she lived in Petersburg, which is like far. So there were no cell phones at the time. I didn't see her as often as I wanted to, as I would have loved to, but she was there. I mean, she's like, all the time she calls my home, she has my mom's voice, and she's like, Manaka, how are you? And I would just cry, her voice. She just passed on now in November, but she's been a mom to me. That support, her support, although she was not present all the time because of logistics, but my dad had to like try be a mom and,
Dead at the
and
same
a dad.
time.
I mean, my dad is not an angel,
I know.
He's
I
not
know,
an angel, but
he
he's an
did
angel to me,
And he
You
played his
hear that-
part.
He did. I mean, because I'm the youngest, I stayed longer with him without my mom. And he was trying to be strict and not be too strict and try to be mom and dad. It was hard for him, shame. He did try, and try, he was 52 when my mom died. So, I mean, you can't
our
expect
age.
him not to date
No,
now. But at the time, we're like, oh, what up? What up? He's with this
Were you
one-
jealous
Of
when
course.
he's dating? Oh, so you want him to just stay alone?
Of course, but it was exciting to have a woman around. But then at the same time, like this woman
Taking
is
our
taking the
mother's space.
attention. Try to get that balance was not easy.
And then the support from your brother and your sister.
Oh no, my brother is, my go-to person.
Her brother is an
Yeah,
angel.
yeah.
Aubrey is an
He
angel.
is,
He
yeah.
is.
My sister too. I mean,
And very soft-spoken.
yes,
Both of them.
yes, yeah.
Very soft-spoken.
I mean, my sister always jokes about it now. Like, you too. You remember I used to like give you spanking. Now you think you're my friends, because of the age difference. So with my sister, our relationship became really close when we were older. So when we were younger, I felt like he's much older. I didn't tell her about, me dating and whoever I'm dating. My brother was there, closer to me than she was. But now we are like tight with my sister. And sometimes I feel bad that I turned her into my mom when she was young,
That's what family is supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
actually.
I turned her into my mom when she was like, when I think about it, she was only 19 when my mom passed. She was a child herself.
When you're saying that, and Seho, my son, I sometimes feel bad that I've turned him into, he is like...
To the dead.
Yeah, like, because I'm a divorcee, and the brothers, he's playing this part that I feel that it's too much for him, but he's stepping up. Unfortunately, I'm a single parent, so it has to, you know. And friends, because that's another thing, you know, the advice. What was the worst advice that you got when people knew that, you know, you going through miscarriages?
You know,
The
people saying,
worst.
when I'll carry the child for you, when the crunch comes, and you take this so serious because
Seriously,
it's
yeah,
serious to you.
exactly.
And when the time comes, they're like, you know, not
So
giving
they
that
were just saying,
support.
and a lot of
Yeah.
people, they like saying things that they don't mean. It says if we can just stop.
Yeah.
I also feel like say what you mean. I get really irritated. I'll tell you why when we're done. That why we said, you know. I'll tell you because I don't promise something that you cannot do.
Yeah. Yeah. Rather
Ah,
just keep quiet.
yes, you don't know how serious it is for you.
I have you. You know what I say? I say, I'm sending you love and light.
That's it.
Yeah, know that I'm thinking about you. I know I'm going to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to get you a sponsor. I know I can't. I can't get sponsor for me.
I know a lot of people say that. I'm still waiting
Yes.
for sponsors, for Resima. No,
Yeah,
they don't.
yeah.
And they like saying it, and especially on social media.
Yep.
On social media, people are fake. People are wearing a mask. They'll say all sort of promises on social media to comment instead of just keeping quiet. They comment that, no, we are with you. Oh, we'll be buying your book, for example. Oh, you know, and they don't. I don't know.
So I believe that about social media. Today I met with this guy I told you who's an author as well, and he sold lots of books. So I said to him, you know, I wanted to print 50 books because I know social media people, they say, okay, bring it. I wanted to print 50 because I don't trust social media
Media.
people. But then I'm surprised this time I'm actually so overwhelmed with the support from social media. You know, Facebook, shame.
Yeah.
They did come through this time to buy the book. They
Yeah,
did.
no, because, you know, and maybe that's another thing. They play social media is a mask. People mask. There are people that really feel your pain, and your book is helping them. So
Yeah.
it's giving them hope. So they will inbox you. They wouldn't say it that, you know, this is what I'm going through, baby.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I'm 100% sure that you've got a few people that did inbox you and say, and you were shocked.
Loads. People who I'm close with, people I grew up with. And all of a sudden they say, oh my goodness, you just, I don't know how to say it in English, ka Sotho, o ntsosetsa ditlhapi.
Ditlhapi.
Like, you know, I didn't realize that you were going through
Through
the same
that.
thing as well. And it's not only about infertility only.
No.
There's a woman who has kids, and she said, you know what, somewhere in the book I'm talking about me feeling close people to me feeling that I'm a coward because I'm not confrontational when I feel that things are not working for me.
You close up. Yeah,
yes,
you go
I
back.
back off, you know, and I don't confront people. And she said, exactly, it's like you're talking to me. So
It's
she
how you
didn't
choose
pick
to
that
do.
up. She didn't pick the fertility
Doesn't, yeah, but there
but
were
then
a
the
few things.
the few things
Yes.
that touch people, you know, you
And
never
also,
realize.
for me, also the hope that you didn't give up. You know, you never gave up. I mean,
Yeah, I was like a dog
Y-
with a bone.
it's like miscarriage, and you fell pregnant. You fell pregnant, I think, within a space of 2 years, if I'm not
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah, I was pregnant that's why at the end, I'm giving a lot out of the book. I say
But
it
go
feels
and
like
buy it, yeah.
I feel like I was pregnant for 6 years. It was a continuous, like, pregnant.
And your life was just revolving around
Yeah.
making a baby. Now that we're talking about how did you come with the names when you fall pregnant, because your chapters, it's the names of your babies. Did you give them names before?
Some of them I gave them names before. The ones that I lost early, I didn't. But then, you know, once you lose a baby, I'm like, okay, go back. Who's this child?
You've given me hope. I took one thing I took from your book. It's where you're saying, this life is not a rehearsal.
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Leave it.
Yep.
Because tomorrow is not promised. Do you think people are they're still rehearsing.
People are still rehearsing. You're still saying, "I'll do this when I have
Procrastinating.
money, when and that might not come."
I know for sure that you're living your life.
I am.
You're living your life,
So
PEBETSI.
sometimes I scare myself. I'm like, did I post that? I'm like, ah.
You're living your life. And somewhere in your book, you're even talking about the dance, that how it affected even your sex life. And it's things that people don't understand. When you're married, there are things that can affect your sex life. And sex is part of your marriage,
That's the connection you
That's-
have.
exactly.
That's one thing you share with your partner only, the deepest ever thing.
I was asking, actually, you didn't answer this question.
Okay.
What was the worst advice? Because I know people will give you different advice. That, some will say, go to Sangomas, go to...
Ooh, yeah. Everything under the
Why I'm
rug.
saying that? Because I know when I was diagnosed with cancer, people say, do this. They've got so much opinions, and they're not even specialists in that. How did you deal with it?
In the beginning, I was listening, and eventually I was like, you know what? Just take what you want from people. And I never argued. When you tell
Yeah.
me, you know what? I know this doctor. He's the best. You go to my doctor. Da, 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 da. I'll say, okay, yes, thank you. Give me the number. Thank you. Yeah. Because then you end up fighting with everybody.
Everybody,
Like, take this advice, you take it, and you go to this person, and then you didn't go to my doctor. Hey, you argue, no. For my sanity and stuff, I just listened to everyone and didn't take all of them. And the most painful thing was when there was a woman I was going through the journey with, who was struggling to fall pregnant as well. And then she fell pregnant before me and she had a child. And I was there for her because I knew where she's coming from. She struggled. And when the child turned 1, I'm sure she's a beautiful woman. She was not wanting to hurt me. It was coming from a good place that I have a birthday for my child turning 1. I mean, I was at the hospital after she gave birth. I was there all the time. It's only for kids. I want the parents to come drop off their kids and go, but you can come and stay. She is, I'm sure it's coming from a good place.
Oh, she
but
didn't
to
know
me,
how to... Yeah, it was...
To me, it's like, okay, I don't have a child. I don't have anyone to drop off, so I must stay like kids, with kids. Am I a babysitter? It was hurtful, and I had to pray about it, and I'm like, this is a good woman who I was close with. It's not coming from a bad place.
Did you tell her how you felt?
No, I just backed off. I don't confront people. I just backed off from her.
I think I confront.
No, not confrontation.
I feel... I don't think it's confrontation that I do. I feel like if you've hurt me and I love you and you keep on phoning me, if I love you, I'll tell you that, you know what, I don't like this. This is not going well with me. And my kids, they know. They'll say sometimes, just leave it. I said, nah. I won't get satisfied. I said, nah.
Yeah. Sometimes me being satisfied is writing it down, and it satisfies me. I forget about it. Or now with voice notes, they help. I'll send you a voice note and I'll say, I do not expect a response. Do not respond. I'm just telling you what's in here. I don't want to fight with you. This is how I feel. That's how you make me feel. Maybe you don't feel the same way. It's fine. But I let it go. Look, this kept me sane throughout the years. Another male friend of mine was saying, when I said, I'm closing my studio and I'm leaving the country, he's like, you like running away. When things don't go your way, you run away. I'm like, running away keeps me sane. I do run. If you call it running away, works for me. I'm going to keep running away. It's okay for me,
And I don't want to reveal much.
And we do,
but we want people to buy. We want them to
so you
buy
get details,
because
right?
they need to buy this book because they're going to get so much hope. And I know out there are people that you are going through a lot. You are trying to have a baby. you don't understand what's happening. And, you end up being like a doctor. I think you know all these fertility things because you were going to all these specialists, And for me, you were given a second chance actually to live.
Yeah, definitely.
People don't, you were given a second chance to live. There's somewhere in your book, I think you were gone.
Yeah, I was.
You were gone. So, as much as we're saying we don't want to reveal too much, I'm saying buy this book. This lady was given a second chance to live. You went as far as surrogacy. You got a surrogate mother. You're explaining the process. It was a journey.
Intense.
It was a journey, and still, for me, I feel like you're blessed to write your story, to tell your story, and our journeys really, we wish we had different journeys in life, but it's how it was said to be, and you are here to give people sanity, actually, hope, because now there's a lot of mental illness out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking that I want to ask you this question. Us blacks, especially, we like saying, don't hang your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I talk my truth. And unfortunately, if you're part of my truth, that's it. I'm not hanging dirty laundry. For me, I'm helping. And for me,
Yes.
I'm getting satisfied that,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm living this life that I'm not happy with. Am I the only one? Is there somebody out there? And I think it's exactly what you did in your book.
Somebody out there is struggling. I was struggling and I was looking for this person to help and I didn't get. I actually got a book. It's called So Close. I can't remember who the author is. And this woman, at least that was like, she went through IVF, I think 10 times, and she eventually fell pregnant, But it's a woman who doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
You're thinking it's a when I went into a fertility clinic, there was just like white women. There were no women who looked like me. Like, it's this, maybe I'm cursed.
Yeah, and I think maybe a lot
one.
of, maybe our color, they're scared to come out.
We don't talk.
We don't talk.
Yeah,
We don't talk.
talk.
We do things in secret. We don't talk. And
That's
we
why
love.
they give us this very a spinster and in Sesotho it's like, yo,
Yeah,
that
that in your that's really bad, and we must stop
that's
calling out
hurtful.
names. It is hateful, and lots of people are going through that, but they don't say it, and because they're scared to be criticized, they're scared to be judged because we're very judgmental. That's another thing. We're very judgmental, as if we know our future.
they've been married so long. Where are
Exactly.
you going? And you in a marriage as well, you feel stuck. You feel like, there's no a continuation in my marriage. I'm like, got married and life stops.
And talking about marriage, I like that you initiated even the divorces because you felt like I'm suffocating. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Was it hard?
That's what it's called, running. I run.
But what's the point of staying in a marriage that it's hurting you?
What's the point, honestly?
Do you want to live a miserable life?
This is the life. It's not a rehearsal. So you're not going to go die and come back and redo. This is it. So if you don't live it the way it makes you happy now, why not?
Yeah, your parents would be so happy. They are looking after you. They are happy. They are happy of what you have achieved and how you're touching people out there. I read your book within 2 days because it's also, you don't want to put it down. You cry, you laugh, you smile, the mixed emotions, and you feel sorry for you. And I don't think when you wrote the book, you wanted people to feel sorry for you. You've already went past that stage.
Yeah. My intention was to help somebody else. So it's possible to go through all of this and come out and say, you know what, let me live this life. This was not meant for me. I have a different path. You know?
True.
I mean, in my yoga journey, as I teach yoga, you get people coming to you with all sorts of things. You know, when you talk to people and they give you their issues, you're like, yo, my issues are small, mine, you know? And I thought, you know what, talking to people, this is like talking to other people, extending it out of the yoga world as well. You know,
It
because not
helps.
everybody's a yoga enthusiast.
I want to learn how to meditate because my mind is running too much. I can't even sleep. So I need to learn how to meditate.
It's hard. It's not an easy thing. I mean, I've been meditating since I started yoga, but I was not consistent. I started being consistent
With
in
your husband?
2020. Yes, my husband is a
Yeah.
meditator. Yeah, I started being consistent in 2020. You know, and still today, I mean, it's how many years? It's 4 years, but you have days, even sometimes in a 1 hour seat, your concentration is there just for 15 minutes. It comes and goes. The main thing is to recognize that your mind has wandered and bring it back. Because it does. We all have monkey brains. You know, there's no way. It's hard to find a place where your mind is just blank. If somebody tells you that they can be blank for 1 hour, maybe they don't belong in this world. I don't know how you can be blank and concentrate for 1 hour. Mind just, you know, that's how we are. It does wander. And you think about this and like, by the way, I'm meditating, come back. You know?
PEBETSI, in closing, where do we find your book? I'm going to sell also her books. I've got 10 now, but I'll order more. But where can they get hold of your books except through me? How can they order your books and which bookstores do they have the books?
I don't have them in bookshops yet. I have them on Amazon.
Okay.
So you can go onto Amazon or you can contact me on social media, PEBETSI V on Instagram and PEBETSI MAKGALEMELE on Facebook. DM me and then I'll send it through to you. And if you're a yoga practitioner or just step into a yoga studio, I have it at Indie Hot Yoga in Pine Slopes. I have it in Santon Yoga Lounge in Yoga Lounge in Morningside. I have it at Yoga Experience in Wanderer Stadium. I have it at Yoga Republic. It's in Randburg. And I have it at Dreamcatcher. It's a shop in... Yes,
So-
it's a shop owned by this beautiful woman who just said on Facebook, please bring them, I'll sell them at my shop. It's in Broad Acres. Otherwise, if you're not around, Nonhli has them. And there's another person in Mamelodi, my cousin, who sells them as well. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll be able to get hold of him, Posongo. And yeah, just get hold of me and... Get hold of me. Get hold of me and on social media, then you can get your book. We are launching the book 3rd of March in Mamelodi, where it all started. So follow me on social media to get all the details as to where in Mamelodi in particular.
Yeah, for me, I don't want to say support. For me, please, can we just, the mental health, it's such, you know, we're going through a lot. Buy this book. You're going to have so much hope that, you know what, you can get a second chance, a third chance. PEBETSI is here. She's a living proof. So,
I mean, my third marriage, ladies.
I mean, and she's happy, and she's got now grandchildren from that marriage. But read the book, you'll understand what I mean.
I'm being called Gogo.
Exactly. And you're happy. You're happy. That's your path. But whatever you're going through now, that's not your destination.
Yep.
That's not your destination. And hope to see you taking pictures and tag PEBETSI, tag Nonhli, tag UnMute with Nonhli. And here's the book. Thank you. Thank you so much, PEBETSI.
Thanks for having me. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me. All I can say to everybody, nothing is permanent.
That's true.
Wherever you are in life, it's not permanent. Everything is there to change.
Thank you.